Welcome to another episode of A Dose of Reality. It is Kid ISO here with my special host, Mr. Blake Still. How you doing?
How y'all doing? How are you doing?
I'm good, good.
Yeah,
Always.
Hey. Oh, okay.
There we go. You want a round of applause?
Yeah, let's hit the round of applause. Blake Steele on the podcast. Who knew?
Yeah, who knew?
Who knew?
You're
No, we got a special guest here
fucking
today.
lame. He's such a fucking lame. Anyway, go ahead.
We got a special guest here today. He is a comedian.
Absolutely.
He also works with disabled kids. You're a teacher, right?
Yes, I do.
He is a teacher?
I
He is
do
a
work as
teacher? My main man, Emilio Lopez. Let's get a round of applause for him.
Hello, hey, yeah, applause, team applause. Yeah, let's not even keep it going for Kid ISO for opening up the show.
Okay,
Yeah,
for everybody. I got it.
The claps
for
that I
having
did
me.
for
Of course, man. Thank you for coming, bro.
of
The
course.
claps that I did for Mr. Lopez were real. I wasn't genuine with the claps. I did for you, so I just want to put that out there.
No.
We got fucking jokes. Leave it to the comedians, man. Come on now.
Ooh, okay, shots. Okay,
But all right, man. Let's kick it off, man. Let's kick
absolutely.
it off. Tell us a little bit about yourself, bro.
Well, my name is Emilio Lopez, a comedian in Lake County. Just doing my thing, telling jokes, working my 9 to 5. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it is. I mean, yeah, comedy.
You want to get?
I mean, that comedy's like, it's stand-up comedy especially. It's like one of the most least respected arts out there. So just like, especially when you're not in it like over 10 years, I kind of keep it a little too, other than when it's promoting shows on Facebook and all that stuff. Yeah.
I got you.
But I love talking about it because, I love it. It's in my heart. Comedy's it's something.
Hey, you do a great job, man. I've seen a
Absolutely.
lot of your
Appreciate it.
performances.
You see me bomb a lot too, so I mean that a lot.
I mean, you've refined a lot, though, to a T. Like, literally. And I know you know this because you could sit here and be modest all day, bro. But, I mean, what? We started off at Terminus, and now you're over. I mean, well, the ones that I've seen you over at the Hidden Pearl. I know you have other shows going on.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, dude. I mean, I haven't really necessarily seen you bomb.
Oh.
There was no bombing. It's just the jokes had to be refined. You shortened them a little bit. You
True,
cleaned them
true.
up. And then, dude, you're hitting laughs every single time.
It's the art of it, I guess.
It
I
is.
appreciate it.
No, of course, man. Of
Thanks
course.
to you guys. Even Kid ISO, that's why I met Kid ISO. Was like,
Absolutely.
you guys coming to an open mic in the first place is always like well appreciated because like with open mics, it's like, all right, we got 9 comics. All right, great. Now we're just gonna try and make these 9 assholes laugh. We've probably heard everything, and they're already thinking about them. So it's just like having like just your dad especially too. He was really cool, and especially you, Kid ISO. Like just any like crowd in there is great.
Absolutely.
course.
And it's like I laugh at damn near everything because I'm not a comic, so shit just makes me laugh like a lot easier. It's a lot easier to make a fan or a person like me laugh. So it's like it's funny because I would laugh like when I came to the open mics, I would laugh at like so much. And everybody else would not be laughing, and I'd feel like a just like a goofy, like sitting there just cracking up, cause it's funny, cause
Right.
obviously again, as a fan, it's a little easier to make a fan laugh than I feel like it is to make another comic really laugh at what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, not laughs good. Not laughs are good as well too, because like not laughs also tell you kind of switch things up as well. But laughs also are good too. It's one of those. Comedy's weird. Yeah. That's what it goes. It's just weird.
It's a learning experience.
Well,
It's
and
weird,
also
like-
it depends on I feel like it depends on your audience because one joke you can tell in front of some people and they would die laughing and it'd be a hit, and then you tell the same joke in front of a different crowd and then like it's like it's not really that funny.
True.
You know what I mean?
Like if you think in like the long term, it's all kind of. Well, I don't know shit about shit. I always want to preface anything I say about comedy with I don't know shit about shit, especially like only being 3.5 years into it. But it seems like if you build your fan base and then just kind of like when G Money were talking about the business stuff, like yeah, it's just like if you get that kind of like that following in a way, it's like culty in a weird way. Those are the people who are really gonna, and you just build that. So yeah.
Appreciate your stuff, definitely.
Well, yeah, I appreciate definitely being on here. I see you guys really grinding with this. It's like I like the backdrop. Yeah,
Thanks,
well,
man.
Fuck yeah.
It's new. It took a couple minutes to set up.
Absolutely.
That's impressive.
Today.
That's impressive.
Today. We got all the bricks. We put them together.
Right.
Yeah. There it is.
No doubt
there it
about
is. But yeah, man. You got into it a little bit, but So, is there somebody like in particular, or like something that happened, in the beginning that influences you?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I always liked kind of like just the way people could like entertain with words in a way. Like any with like I love concerts like rap or like rock concert. Any is just the way you could really just get someone's attention and do your art. That always kind of influenced me. Growing up, my sister kind of like put like stand up stuff, so I always thought like, oh wow, that's cool. Just watching like Ari Spears or just like even early Dane Cook. I mean, he's got a lot. People
Dane
hate
Cook.
on him a lot, but like I growing up with
Fire.
that was like, oh wow, just seeing that where wow, you're gonna catch your attention like for 60 minutes, and then when you talk to regular people, like some people just suck at talking, and just so it's like wow, just can think of that on the stage. But people who influence me, God, I don't even know. Ari Shafir, that's a big one. Greg Giraldo, Patrice O'Neal, and and then if I had to pick Richard Pryor. Like if I had to pick a Mount Rushmore of 4 guys, I would pick those guys as like people who influenced me. And then with my own life, I guess I mean I always was one who kind of liked when you really look at any shitty situation or any situation, you always gotta try to funny of it. So that has always been my like coping mechanism with like whatever, and it just like it could be entertaining with a way, and better just laugh it off, not not get all too serious with things.
Right.
That's the way I look at things.
I mean, dude, laughter is the best medicine. Sincerely, I mean, that's,
Right? They say.
No, I mean, even like literally, like they have comedians like going to hospitals and stuff like that too. You know what I mean? Like whatever the situation is for kids and stuff like that.
That must be tough though.
Well, yeah, of course. But I mean, like,
crowd or 12 chemo people. It's just
right. If that joke doesn't hit, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What happens if you go too dark for that room and they're just like,
yeah,
no,
gotta keep it light. Gotta keep it light. Kid ISO and I always talk shit, man. Because every time we go into like a convenience store or like anywhere, honestly, like everybody just has this resting bitch face, dude.
Upset.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're just so mad, like at the world, and like I'm always walking around and just like, dude, why is nobody smiling? Like, why is you know what I mean? It just,
but like to their defense, so I get that too. Because like there's sometimes where you just wake up and it's just like you're pissed. Like I'm pissed every day, pretty much. It's like I just want to there's some girls that we talk to are like I'm gonna get booked more. So it's like I get they're pissed off. But the way I look at it is like way to mask that pissed offness. That's just like. Everyone's pissed off. You're probably really pissed off. Kid Ice is probably really pissed off.
Absolutely.
I'm mad about shit right now.
I'm happy as shit, man.
The way it just, I think being a good person is just not letting your piss offness affect.
Absolutely.
Like I'm not,
absolutely.
I'm not being negative Nancy and they're affecting those people. That's the way I see it too. When I see like teachers at my work or like other people at work, even like at Walmart, it's just like this person's pissed off right now, and then if you're pissed off, then that's just gonna ruin my day and make me pissed off. It's just like. I'm all about just being positive with the environment, just I try to like shit on people in a way. Yeah, unless
absolutely.
it's for jawing in a way. Unless it's playful jawing where you really just want to get at someone.
Absolutely. Like how I bully this guy.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely.
He does. He bullies me.
All day, every day. It's not just on camera, guys. It's literally like a daily thing.
It's
true.
It's me too. Definitely. Definitely.
So I have a question. How would you I feel as though comedy has to be one of the hardest professions, hobbies, whatever somebody could go into, just because it is hard to make people laugh. So going into when you're working on your material or anything, could you go into that process of how you kind of create your stand-up routine?
I kind of, what I'm doing now is, because this is actually what I'm doing currently, is I'm trying to build more of a narrative. Because I kind of just had jokes, just random witty ditty, but there's no transition. And then it's just one of those things where just these people are getting booked. What are they doing differently? And then I see it's just kind of building a narrative of really introducing yourselves and really putting in the jokes and really putting in some good fluffer with it that kind of makes it sense, and even some of the times that good fluffer is really gonna get a laugh of its own and really just build to the punchline. So I'm really kind of just really, just kind of building on the teaching thing, but also kind of displaying a character in a way. So it's also kind of a 5% influence with professional wrestling in a way.
Absolutely, I feel that,
Yeah.
And I feel like in anything artistically, you have to sell yourself. So I definitely understand making that creating that character for yourself,
Right.
and then using that to tell your jokes, because you know that to me it's just a hard thing to be able to do, because like you can tell jokes, you can say whatever, but like somebody won't laugh.
Right,
People
yeah.
won't laugh, you know what I mean? And it's just like to be able to go up there and like continue doing that even when like you feel like you may have bombed here or whatever. Like that is very commendable, because I know that can't be easy to just like bounce back after what you feel like is a bad showing.
Yeah, like it's trial and error. Like even when we're going with like the career, like even if I just find out like what this thing I'm currently working on is not, there's just a bunch of error. It's like, oh, okay, back to the drawing board. Let's see what was the goodness out of that. Like, it's all kind of like learning from your losses. Kind of like I'm always like learning, like never stop learning is kind of like my big thing. Like always trying to get something new. What's the like main thing, especially with my focus in comedy, is just like trying to learn what could I do to get better in a way. So you just, especially with like the fear of going up there, like I still get nervous. I mean, even when I first started out, I would like throw up beforehand. It was just like I would just eat nothing, barely anything all day because it was just broke in college, and then just there. And after $2 beers, it's just like, oh, okay, we're about to start. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Then I just like, all right, cool. Then I'll check my abs out, thinking like, yeah, I probably just threw up like 3 pounds. That's super cool. Now I look good on stage, because I'm crazy where it's like sometimes that just look good. So it's like, all right, got that factor boost. Boom, boom. Throwing up kind of made me feel good enough where I'm still be able to get home safely, but good enough where I'm kind of quick on my head, my behind. It just, it's weird. You know, comedy's weird.
Absolutely.
I can say though that you definitely have never showed that side of you, man. Because I mean, literally, when you go on stage, dude, you are probably one of the most confident people up there. No, I'm serious.
Absolutely.
The amount of times that I've seen you perform, and the
Appreciate
amount of
it.
other people that are performing there as well. I mean, you can see that you stand out in a crowd, dude. When it comes down to your confidence, and you're refining, and like you just said, you're learning, because you're constantly doing something just a little bit differently to see what works.
Right.
And that's the trial and error of what you're doing. You know what I mean? And that's why you're getting booked now. That's why you're like semi-hosting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Seriously. I know you're being modest, but I mean, you're doing a great job, man.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Like this year was better than last year, but it's just like with anything, it's just like, you know, you want more than like, so especially when you see like, that's why with social media it's so dangerous. You'll just see like, you'll see things that you want, and it's very motivating, but it also could eat at you. But I'm just trying to find it as like motivating. It's like, okay, that's possible. You know, that's, I could do that. So just using that, like, so yeah. And then especially with the stage presence, like I'm really trying to get better with this. Like that's something I kind of, now I'm trying to focus more with the joke writing in a way, but like stage presence was a thing I did try to like, did have a year of focusing on, because when I did start, my thing was I'll look up. Like, look at the lights, just look up. And then I remember when, like, after it was set, the next comedian went up there, and he even made a joke about it. It was like the last comic was just always looking up. And then I even saw a picture of me during that time of, like, me telling jokes, and it's a picture of me hand in my pocket. I'm, like, looking up, and it's just like, that's not even a good comedy picture. So after just seeing that, that just gives you, like, the slap. It's like, okay, you need to really make eye contact with people, and, like, eye contact's scary though, you know, especially when you're up there and you're trying to tell a joke. Like eye contact's scary. Eye contact's scary for a pretty girl now. I mean, you guys are very young gentlemen who pull the girls, but damn, see, you know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those.
Don't
where
say
just,
that, man. You're a handsome man yourself. You know
Appreciate
that.
it.
You know
I gotta
that,
get
of
a
course.
haircut. I was gonna get a haircut. I gotta do the next.
Hey,
weekend,
man.
so just,
That's a clean
I'm
look,
rocking the
man.
hat, so you already know
I
what's
feel
rocking
that. That's cool.
No, yeah.
But I thank you. I appreciate the notice of stage presence. Now
No,
my thing
yeah.
is trying to be with the joke writing, which is a whole new game. Like I'm trying to read a book on it, but I suck at reading books. So like it's been like a year and a half, and this book's gonna solve all the answers to my problem. But it's just like it's so hard reading it, like taking the time to like read. But I'm halfway there. I'm gonna hopefully get to it by end of summer.
Absolutely.
I like one thing I really like, because it goes hand in hand with your confidence on stage, man. You really go up there like, I don't give a fucking shit. You know what I mean? No, seriously, like it like doesn't matter. And that's honestly, that's I feel like your aura, like when you go up there and like people are feeling that, like this guy is like really like speaking from the heart. It takes like away from the fact that some of it is scripted.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it really just like, I don't know if you're meaning to come off like that, but I mean I enjoy the fact that you come off like that because your jokes are fire, dude. I mean, no, they are. They're like I said, they've been really refined, and a lot of them are similar than the ones that you've been doing. You know what I mean? And that with that like that kind of like semi-cocky attitude, it's like, you know what, you could take it or leave it, it doesn't matter. And that to me makes it more funny because like you're talking about, you have been making eye contact with the audience, you have been doing all this other stuff, and that's, yeah, man, I mean, props off to you, dude.
There was one time I remember last time I did see you at the you brought up something because you came to the Hidden Pearl and you're like, hey, I liked how you were doing with the pause, and like that is also something I'm to work on as well. It's just like the pauses and just like letting things kind of sinking in, and like it's always harder than it sounds, but like being more in the moment.
Yeah.
It's because especially when you're up there and it just like. You just want things to just be like the rhythm words, but laugh, laugh, ha, ha, ha. But sometimes you really just gotta let things sink, and it's just uncomfortable. But it's just that's what I'm also trying to like work on now is just the pauses and really just sitting in the uncomfortable just to lead it up to a bigger like pop.
Right. I agree, and it's like I noticed one thing that some comics do is like if they hit a joke that's like that people have thought was really really funny and they're all laughing, they'll try to like continue, and it's like no, you gotta let them laugh, get their laugh out, and then like continue so we can hear the rest of the joke and stuff. So it's like that the pauses. I'm sure that has to be difficult because you're just sitting there kind of like waiting till the right moment to like go on. So I mean like it's that again. I have to commend you for going up there and really perfecting that because 1000%. I know that I could never do that. And like I feel like I'm capable of doing a lot of things, but like that is something that's just like I respect all comics for sure because going up there and standing in front of that crowd and like trying to get them to laugh, which is just one of those emotions that's just natural. Yeah, you can fake laugh, but when you get a real laugh, you know what that sounds like. So that is to be commended, and
I think I actually heard you.
Thank you.
I think I actually heard you say last time I was there. You're like, because you said a bomb joke. I mean, I don't mean you bombed it. I mean, like, dude, it was super fire, and it was very like, how do I put it? It was, you really had to think on it. You know what I mean? For a second, I forgot exactly what it was, but you sat there and you're like, yeah, let that sink in. And then everybody started laughing, dude. I mean, it was awesome, man.
Right, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't you rap, kid? I saw.
Yes.
See, I saw. Yeah, I saw. I commend music because, like, the way I look at it, joke telling, you kind of just get your things after you like you write it, it's in your mind. Boom, music, you gotta be there's so much to it. That's why I love music in general, where there's a lot. Like,
I mean. This is gonna sound cocky, but music is not really that hard for me, like at least making it. I guess the hard part is more just the marketing in it, and like maybe some people struggle with the performance. For me, I necessarily don't struggle with that because that's something that like I like to do.
right.
But again, like with music, it's like I can always like I got a beat, so like if I can have enough energy on stage. I kind of don't even need to remember my lyrics like that. Because if I'm teeing people up, I can just, the energy and the beat is going to help more than that.
Right.
Well, that's why I say it's just the comedy shit is harder just because, like, you get up there and they're like, all right, it's your turn. Go make these people laugh for however long you got. And it's like, fuck. What if they don't think my shit is funny, you know?
You just gotta go with the energy in the room.
Absolutely.
How like they're like how the last comic do was like,
Absolutely.
like like doing the whole like crowd. Like I'm also trying to do that more. Just like really checking out the room before I go up. Other than just really going over my notes or something like that, but really just people watching to an extent. I love people watching. That's something I love to do.
Absolutely.
Is that eavesdropping in public? So if I drink some coffee and I hear a good conversation, I'm gonna listen to that conversation.
No, is that a strategy that you use though, in the sense of like placing yourself like when you're gonna go next? Because if there is 9-10 comics in the room, half of them are gonna be better than adequate. Some of them are gonna be amazing, and then some of them are gonna be
I am
starters, you know.
I like to always like, especially with a list. I always like to get 9 or 10. I want to start getting 1 or 2 more, like just so I get used to that, like being a quick, and especially for the shows I get like put on. It's like I'm always like the first guy. Like I'm always like the one who's gonna get like here 10 minutes off top. So
JT
it's just
gets
like,
you on quick though. Definitely.
yeah, but like so it's just one of those things where just I gotta like. We gotta be used to being like the first one who really like goes, and especially with hosting shows, because we host like I'm starting to host shows with my friend, and then that's one of those where, like when you host, you gotta really be like the one who like, here's the rules, everyone be quiet, and here are some jokes, so laugh. So it's just like listen to these rules and now laugh at these jokes. This is how we're supposed to act. So it's also what I'm starting to. But I like to get that 10. I mean, too late could be sometimes when people, but it all depends on each crowd.
Right.
Like you never want to get in the middle. I like middle, like 10 is just so like the people could like see like, oh, comedy's happening, and then
they're warmed up.
My opinion on that could change in like a year. You know, where Definitely. I'd be like, you know, I hated 10. You know, 1's actually the cool spot. Being the first one up at open mic, that just is awesome. So who knows?
So I have a question, right? So as a musician, like I cannot listen to music and enjoy it as a fan, right?
Right.
So like I'll listen to music and the first thing I do is criticize, oh, he should have went here, he should have did that, he missed this note, whatever, the beat doesn't sound right, there's the snares off, something like that. So are you able to like watch stand up and like really enjoy it, or are you watching it and just critiquing the shit out of it?
It really depends on who it is. I mean, if it's gonna be like Dave Chappelle's Netflix and it's like, okay, we're gonna see how it is, but if it's just like any other, like you would just see me like, oh, okay, maybe I would follow. I would done that like differently this way, or just like so. It comes with a level of critique, but it also comes like then if it comes with like Brendan Schaub, like the one like the UFC fighter, you know, like he believes his special. Like all the comics are critiquing the hell out of it. Even that. Like I haven't watched it yet, but I want to watch it to critique the fuck out of it. Like just one of those. So like someone like him, yeah, but like if it's someone like really, really good, or just like, if anything, you know.
Right. I understand that. I definitely understand that because I feel like I'd be that way with Drake. Like I can listen to Drake and be a fan. I can't really listen to many other people and be a fan and like sit there as a fan and sit there and like, wow, this music is good. It's always like, you know, you went too fast. The snare just seems off. Your bass is not hitting the way it's supposed to. And it's like, even with like mainstream people. So I definitely understand that. Like that critiquing thing is like sometimes takes away from being able to just enjoy stuff. You know? Because we got into, like, I got into music because I enjoyed it. You got into comedy because you enjoyed watching it. And now it's like you don't even get that, almost that satisfaction anymore of like just enjoying it as a fan.
Right. Like, especially before I started, like, I know what you mean. Like, it's to a content where, like, you want to, because you don't want to come off as that guy who, like, oh, he's good. Because
you're learning stuff.
Yeah, because I'm still a big fan. But it's just one of those where it's just like, before I started doing it, I was way more known of what's going on, like who has their special, and just more like watch. Like now that it's like, now that you're doing it, just you really don't have the time. Like I've catch myself watching old like Night at the Improv from the 80s, or just seeing that, or just watching that old school just to see like, oh wow, look at that, like, or just more like these other names in there, or like local names who were really, really big, but they're just stuck locally for some reason.
So I have another question, right? So obviously in this world we live in, people are extremely sensitive now, right? So like how has that affected you as a comic? Because I'm sure maybe the type of jokes that you might have that used to be cool are just not cool anymore. You can't necessarily say that. So that has that made your job harder, you feel?
I feel like it all depends on, like, everyone kind of knows, I guess. If you kind of know, you know what's crossing the line and what's not. And then there is a point, if you're going to walk that fine line, you got to have good writing. You know, you got to have good writing to make it work.
Absolutely.
I'm not at that level to really be at there. I mean, there's some times where you kind of just tiptoe with it, and it just, maybe if the crowd's with it and they know you're cool, but just like at a show, it just, well, you know, like anything.
It's better to play it safe.
Yeah, it's always better to play it safe, but still kind of have fun with it. But just always, because it's like, you got to kind of be aware. And like with common sense, I guess, like plays a factor with that.
Scoping the crowd too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I see that. I want to go back a little bit. Obviously, you mentioned, and I mentioned in the beginning, your day job. You want to talk about it a little bit?
Oh yes, I work as an educator for the United States of America, and Sarah Pelosi.
Oh,
I think that's her name. Yeah.
nice.
She's my boss. She's technically the big lady. She's like my Joe Biden.
Really?
Yes.
How does that work for you?
It's cool. Like the way I look at it is just like it gives me points it gives me a job to do from 9. It gives me my summers off, and it's a job that like I could like write jokes, or I have time to read my book on how to write a joke. So that's kind of cool, and it's stuff that like. It's simple. It's like being a teacher, and especially I work with young kids, so it's just like that's also common sense. You gotta know like what's good. Obviously, don't be weird. Obviously, don't be and then just follow whatever the rules. It's kind of like reading the work environment, and it's also kind of rewarding. So if I feel like I'm a piece of shit on the stage, it's like I spend a lot of my day dealing with your kids' bullshit, and I'm not even getting paid a lot for it. Like this is like that and cops. Those are two jobs that need to get paid more, because any teaching job I worked with, there's always been amazing, wonderful people who are just like, wow, you should really get paid more. Like it's like they all
Absolutely.
put teaching way up there, and I put comedy. For me, comedy is like up there, and then teaching is like right down there.
Right.
They put teaching up there with whatever they gotta do, and it's like, wow, those people really should get paid more. Like
Absolutely.
I would leave my teaching job for a second if SNL called. Those people would at least consider. So it's just like,
Right.
damn.
That's what when I first went to college, I went to be a teacher and stuff. But then I saw what they were gonna make, and I was like, I'm gonna go to 4 years of college and get in debt, and I don't know. But
Yeah.
that I really commend anybody who's a teacher, because like that has like you have such an impact on the next generation.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just having that impact and being a good person and helping to educate the next generation, like you should get paid a lot more than what teachers get paid, and especially because like you're really like you have the hands of the future, and you have the future in your hands basically.
Right. And then I also use Uncle Sam loopholes though to pay for that. For one, being brown, that helps.
Absolutely.
And then I teach special ed. So I did this thing where they kind of covered majority of the tuition if I just got to teach just like in a poor like school with like a poor district. So that kind
Absolutely.
of works out as well. And then with special ed too, that's kind of like that's one where it's like it's you're the way I look is you're trying to influence kids who probably don't hate school, like who are like I'm trying to like not give them a bad taste on school. Like, hey, like school
Absolutely.
could be fun, learning could be cool. We kind of just kind of go with it. Everyone's with it, but I promise it's gonna pay off. Like, I'm at least gonna try to help you make this day. Like, just at least try, and I'll say you're doing good, and everything's gonna move on.
That one joke that you said on stage, bro, killed me. Where you were like, "Can I say it?
Sure,
you want to say
sure.
it?" You were like, "Yeah, man," because obviously you work in a special ed school, and you were like, "I swear, sometimes these kids just look up at me and they're like, this is one of us that made it."
Yeah.
Bro, you killed me with that joke. That was like a very like that's one you were talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Swerving with the lines, man. And you worded that so perfectly, where it
Thank
wasn't
you.
disrespectful, but at the same time you were kind of shitting on yourself a little bit. So it's
Right.
like people really couldn't get
I
mad.
add the fluff with it, versus
Yeah.
being like they look at my hungover face and see that I can't also differentiate the signs of I and E, and they're like, "Wow, that's one." And then I also think I say something where like majority of my students are brown and black, and so it's kind of that adds to the rest spectrum report. Yeah, see, there's a whole narrative thing I'm trying to work with my tight like 5 and 10 at C.
Right. I get it. I get
Right.
it. I get it.
Well, let's take a little break, and we'll be right back with the dose of reality.
Woo.
Whoa.
Catch me dancing like a Michael Myers.
All right, man. Just to get back into it. Got a thinker
hello.
now.
All
Got a
right.
thinker, all right?
Comprehension question.
Comprehension. Not about the I's and the E's,
Who,
but
what, when, where, why?
yes. Well, you could add all of those. That would help. So if you could turn back in time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell him?
That's a good question. I would probably be telling myself like, I don't know. I mean, it's like those decisions probably led to me where I am right now. But I guess maybe just like if I would have been like, hey, don't stress out over things you can't control. That would probably be the best one. It's just probably sit down, like that would be it. Just to like really just to like get that through. Like, hey, there's gonna be things that you can't control that are gonna stress you out. Just don't stress out about it. Don't get all upset about it because that's gonna really probably block your creative and block just your whole mental and just your happiness.
So don't focus on the little things. Essentially.
Essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Can you talk about the first time you were ever on stage? Like the first time you ever did comedy on stage?
That was at the Jukebox Comedy Club in Peoria. I was 23. Comedy was always an idea. I flunked out of this one important class, so I had a semester where I was just taking just this class, and I had so much time, and it was just a down where it was just like I needed something to do. I was thinking about dropping out, but then I was like, there's comedy clubs here. Comedy has always been a thing. I gotta do it now. I at least gotta get it. And then I first went because they had a competition, so I watched around the competition, and then the week after they had an open mic on Wednesday, and I showed up, and I remember I was there, and then I was talking with this dude. I remember this dude who was kind of like, he was like, I told him it was my first time, and he was like, you should just get in your car and go back home. And then he said it in a joking way, but it was just one of those where it was just like, I was like, ha ha ha, well, chill. But it was just one of those things where, that's comedy. And then I remember I went there. I don't know if I must have got some subtle trying laughs. I didn't want to make it a scene where it's like, it's my first time, yeah. It was just some subtle time. And then I was smoking cigarettes at the time, mostly just through just so I could socialize and not because I don't smoke cigarettes now, I Juul pods, but so I remember I ended up developing a relationship with the host and the regular comics there, and then that was just my go-to spot ever since then, every Wednesday. And then I started going to Champaign, Illinois for the Blind Pig on their open mic on Monday, and the Clark Bar for their open mic on Thursday from the Tuttle Brothers. And that was just and sometimes Mason City would have something on Friday, but yeah, I was going to college at Illinois State University, and it was just something I needed to do too. And at that time, all my friends kind of graduated, and it was just, I was thinking about joining a frat, but I was just like, nah, I need to just do something. So it didn't at least with comedy, that would at least, and it was paid off. Like that was just, it really just was awesome. Just kind of that whole environment and just being there. And especially at the club as old as the Jukebox Comedy Club, they are statistically one of Illinois' oldest comedy clubs. But they get good headliners and stuff. And just watching just the interaction. Luckily, I'm so thankful to that club because they're at least nice enough to at least accept me to kind of just be there in a way, just chill and just feel comfortable at the open mic. Because there is also a lot of weirdos who go, you see at the open mic scene. But luckily, they didn't see me that much of a weirdo. They saw me as just some new guy trying. And so I'm thankful to them for 100%. But that's kind of how it kind of started. My first time was in a Central Illinois comedy club.
Awesome. So, I've heard college come up a lot, and you're talking about your early days and stuff. So, can you talk about your college days? How that kind of put an emphasis on how you move forward in your life after?
Well, me and school never had a good eye-to-eye relationship. So when I first started college, I went to a community college in my area, and that was just pretty much just to be a scumbag for the next 3 years and try to figure things out.
Right.
I did good one year, but then I somehow flunked the second year. I just felt wow, that was easy. I'm just going to not go, but then try to go at the end. So, I tried that the first semester, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do that again the next semester, but maybe do something, but it didn't work again. So then after I figured out I want to do teaching and all that, so the third, I just got through all that stuff, and I had to go to ISU. But then I had to do 4 years of ISU because it was hey, you finished high school an idiot. So now you got to retake the ACT. So I had to go to some Central Illinois high school and some grown ass guy who smelled like weed and retake the ACT in some high schooler's class. And I remember I forgot my calculator and it was just awkward. So I had to do it again for the math part. But yeah, so I have 1 year of ISU went to making up for all that shenanigans. But there was a lot, at least with being in ISU and Normal, Illinois, it was only 50 minutes from Peoria.
Okay.
So that was at least every Wednesday was the open mic there, and then the weekends was sometimes just go chill there and watch the show because Joe Rederick was hey, just come by. You're here. You get to watch the shows for free. And like, cool. And just watching that was just always an experience as well.
That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, like, college was funny because I had like a experience that like I feel like changed my life for whatever, and I feel like if I didn't go through that college time, even though like I didn't finish and I didn't really go to class that much, but if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have met the people that have got me to the point where I am now. I wouldn't have developed as an artist, developed as a person. So I feel like that college experience can be like so beneficial for everybody just because it feels like it just determines kind of where you want to go with your life.
Yeah.
It gives you that opportunity to like figure out, hey, okay, am I going to go this way? Am I going to go that way or whatever?
It just happened like Jukebox Comedy Club was only like 40 minutes from like my college. So it was just like that really helped me figure it out. And then like that was just its own comedy environment of its own, where sometimes I find it even hardest to like replicate it. And it was just a perfect intro to everything and like etiquette and like how to act. It was just through college was that experience. I don't know if I didn't go to ISU or if I went somewhere else, if I would have that, if I would have started somewhere else. So luckily I'm happy I started there and kind of learned what I did like from there and like through that environment.
Absolutely, that's what's up.
So especially starting off, man, what are like some of the main strategies you use for memorizing like your monologues?
We're always writing. That's the thing. It's hard. Easier said than done. I mean, there's sometimes where I had an idea in my mind where it's just like, oh, that's my work. And then I like kind of like lay it out in my mind. And then if I say it, like when I get to the mic and it somehow works, and it's always nice. And I even learned this at school. When you write it, supposedly that's like a mental thing where your brain kind of helps remember it. But then again, like, I don't know, but like at least writing things, but I need to write more, but like writing's super beneficial of really just writing it and then just playing it from there.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. I, for some reason, hate writing.
It's tough.
It's not the fact that I can't write personally. I mean, because you were there for my debut over at the Moose Lodge.
Yeah.
I know you remember it because you hosted that night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, man, those jokes, literally, it was obviously off my phone. I was reading it off my phone, and yeah, I mean,
see, that works though too. Some people just go with like the same, like just through the phone, and like so like that could just be your style in a way. But like whatever kind of just helps that bridge that mental like connection to really like get it seared in your brain somehow.
Since I brought that up, I didn't even think I was gonna bring that up, but it kind of went through it. I don't want to take the spotlight off, but honestly, bro, like, what's your honest opinion about how that went? I mean, you know what I mean, for my debut.
I think it went good. You got laughs.
I know, but a lot of those people were in there consistently. I feel like I got hyped up a little bit.
You could have not got laughs.
That's true.
Like, there's been multiple scenarios throughout this world where that setup happens, but then you could have just not. But you got good laughs. I was even looking through my old pictures. I found I just noticed you don't got Facebook, so
no,
like
I don't.
Yeah, I wasn't able to send that to you, but I'll send them to you.
Okay.
Like early today, but I got pictures from that event. But I remember that was one of our good, because our open mic now is just we don't have the good numbers anymore, so it's just like. That was during one of its high phase, I guess, where it was just like we had good numbers, even some crowd, and then like comics came. It was like that was a good one. I remember that. So you got laughs, and it was a good one, good environment at that one too.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
I have a question, and this is gonna be an easy question or whatever. But how annoying is it when you tell somebody that you're a comic and they say tell a fucking joke?
A lot.
I know that has to be because I get that like a little bit where it's like, oh, I make music, I sing or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, sing some shit for me. Fuck you! I'm not gonna sing for you.
It's like you want me to like. It's like the joke one. It's like I bet there's some witty ways, but like I remember this happened recently. I think it was like 4 months ago. I was at a bar and like local, and met two friends we were talking with, and then we did a smooth transition to these girls' tables. Like I was like, hey, you don't mind if I sit here? And then like she was like, oh, I kind of recognize you, blah blah blah, and that kind of started a conversation. And then when her friends came in there, she was like, oh, and like she even introduced us like, oh, he like puts on shows, he's a comedian. It's like, oh, you're a comedian, tell a joke. And then like I didn't think of anything, so I looked at my friend's sweatshirt. I was like, want to hear a joke? This sweatshirt, and it bombed. No one really laughed.
Right.
The blonde, like the chick who kind of was with there, kind of smirked, just gonna be like, I don't know if she was probably laughing at that whole situation, but it was not a good night that night. But it was a cool night, but yeah,
Yeah. So do you have to follow up? Like, should you have like in that situation? Is it better to just be like, fuck you, or is it better to just like kind of try to come up with something on the spot?
I think like there's so much factors. I mean, it depends how you write. If you could think of something like quick, like that's like 6 words, then something like that. But that's hard. Right. So it's just like it's like, are you really gonna listen for like a 3-minute when you're like not in an environment? Baby, I don't know. But this is coming from 3.5 years in me. I bet maybe 15 years from now, in a situation where anyone wants me to tell them a joke, I'll be like, boop, right. Look at that, like boom. So I don't know. I bet like anything over time.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm not singing for nobody fucking overtime right now. Fuck that. Gee. I'm not about to belt out a goddamn song for you. You sound stupid. What the fuck? You know how many people have walked up to me and been like, hey, I'll be like, we'll be in whatever, party, whatever. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, you sing? You should sing some shit. No. Fuck
like it's
you.
Karaoke night.
Yeah, the fuck I look like? What, you want me to just think of something off the top of my head and sing for you? You sound drunk.
You sound drunk. I mean, obviously you've mentioned a couple times that you've been really traveling, everywhere in Illinois to go to your stand-ups, man. I mean, how time consuming is that? I mean, you've pretty much been, it seems like, almost everywhere in Illinois for these comedy clubs.
I understand why. Like, it does take a lot of your life, especially like with teaching. Like, I end up finishing on my day at like 4. So the way it's just like, I usually have to leave by like 6 or 7, and it's usually an hour drive. I want to start going to Madison every summer, and that's like 2-hour drive to like get there. If I want to go to Peoria, that would be like 2.5, but I haven't been there forever. But yeah, there's something you got consideration where you're just like, a minimum, like it's going to be an hour drive for 5 minutes on a mic. When you look at it like that, it's just like, people explaining that to like normal people are like, what? But it's just like, it's worth it in a way, So
definitely worth it. You get your face out there, your voice out there, your jokes out there. Absolutely, because I mean, as a musician, going up, there's a lot of open mics in the city, and you gotta go super far to go there, and you may perform one song, maybe 2 if they're nice. Right. And that's it, and it's just like, but you have to be out there. You have to put yourself out there.
Yeah. So like traveling is a big part of it. Like, even with the music, a lot of it's traveling. You just gotta be like, you gotta know it's with like, and that's why I love summer. Summer's great because like, especially in the city, you could hit the Lincoln Lodge. You have like 4 mics on Monday, so it's just like I could hit 2 there, and then maybe I want to go to another one that's at maybe around 9, and then there's a late one at 12 that's probably at the Lincoln Lodge or somewhere else. So it's just like, there's so much stuff. Like, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to summer and more traveling. I want to travel the whole world. My goal is to tell a joke in every state. Maybe even the countries too.
That's fire.
It's hard, but we'll see what happens.
Not Ukraine though, right?
Maybe I want to go Saudi Arabia and tell a joke.
Hey.
I heard
it's hot down there.
Chechnya and tell a joke to that dude with the beard who is very mean. That guy too.
Make him smile.
Absolutely.
Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna try and make him smile.
Hey, that's what I mean. The oldest comic is the Jesters back in the day. People forget that.
Yeah,
I mean?
But
they one that made fun of the king.
They was performing for their lives though.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
Right.
It wasn't a performance for a little money or whatever. They was like, yo, you don't make me laugh, it's over for you, cuz.
Absolutely.
That's your head.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything? Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, you mentioned, what in maybe 15 years from now, you'll be able to throw, a little one-liner at somebody. Where do you envision yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully, either in New York, Texas, or LA. That would be ideal. That would be the most ideal situation. So one of those three cities. I would like New York, but we'll see. We'll just see how life plays itself out.
What's your thought process behind all three of those? Because I mean, LA is not the best place to be living right now. Maybe traveling to for work for sure.
They always been like a comedy hotspot. Like
Okay.
It's just like I don't know, like they just with the Comedy Store and just like the also opportunities of just like the big names working their stuff out there, and I guess the exposure. So
Absolutely.
LA always just has its thing, and then New York, of course, they're another scene where just they have their thing, and then Chicago too. It's like I guess but it wasn't like it'd be nice to like with professional wrestling. I was looking at professional wrestling logic from like the 70s and 80s. It's like they once said like it's easier to like make your name somewhere else, then come back to your hometown because your hometown is gonna remember your hometown is gonna remember how bad you were. So it's just like there you go, it's somewhere else, and then just coming back, and that'll be kind of cool. So hopefully 5 years with those three, and then Texas seems like it's an up and up state. So we'll see though.
Yeah, no, he shits on LA every chance he gets. So don't.
I don't think there's anything like wrong with LA. It's just California
he shits on
itself.
LA.
I mean, you've seen the taxes out there. You've also seen the inflation prices for gas. I mean, with all that, and then they're the
Earthquakes,
earthquakes, and not only that, but I mean, they are like one of the highest ranking state for homeless people. I mean, you can't even go into some parts.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to get lost in LA too. So hey, I feel that. I feel the LA vibes. Get a nice little house out there.
It's a vibe.
Oh my goodness,
it's a vibe.
I'm not allowed to say that apparently.
You're not allowed to say it's a vibe when we're driving and I'm in the passenger seat and you look over like, is this a vibe?
Bro, it was a vibe, bro.
Dude, it was.
I was checking. I was just checking.
Bro, relax, bro.
I love that statement you made though. While I looked over driving at you in the passenger seat. So
Yeah, bro.
Remember who's driving, bro.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
bro,
say whatever the fuck I want.
Dude, you better never say. You never better ask me if it's a fucking vibe or you're driving somewhere.
Yeah,
You
bro.
look over to me like I'm some shorty or some shit. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Can't say anything. Everybody's a critic nowadays,
Oh,
Emilio.
1000%.
You had something else you want to just?
No, I didn't. You have something? Go ahead.
Let's take it off track just a little bit. What do you think about cryptocurrency, NFTs?
I wish I would have gotten into it sooner. If I would have gotten, I didn't get into it, but like I do get jealous seeing like some good stuff where it looks like it's booming. Like it looks like a lot of big names. Like there's this dude named Ben Askren who's
Ben Askren, the UFC fighter.
Yeah,
he used to be
he's
UFC
into
fighter.
cryptocurrency, and he seems like
Absolutely.
he's very smart. So it's just like Ben Askren's doing. I think. But Ben Askren got lost to Jake Paul money.
Well,
so he has money to burn.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
and
it's
also
like,
Ben Askren was getting his ass knocked out, so maybe I don't know. He was getting slept by people.
right,
So
that last
I
week,
don't
really-
know
yeah.
if I want to be just following him behind that man, but I feel
That
you.
is a good true. Like that judgment might be very good.
He was getting his ass rocked, bro. He was sleeping. Mother was like, "You good? Wake up, kid. Wake
All
up."
stiff too. It was just, oh.
Oh shit, that's hilarious. So I have a question. So what are your interests outside of comedy and work? What are you interested in?
I like with mainstream, but sports wise, my big sport is like mixed martial arts.
Okay.
That one's a
Big
big
fan
one.
of
Where
that
I,
as well.
They just like I like to go with that's a big one with Bellator, UFC.
Okay.
Like they had Chito Vera versus Rob Font last night, and Vera destroyed Rob Font. So
Absolutely.
and Chito Vera was the dude who beat Sugar Sean O'Malley, and that kind of took the hype of that one.
Took his hype away.
Yeah,
Because
right.
Sugar Sean O'Malley was the most hyped dude for a while. When he lost, and then again, that's the thing. When you lose, sometimes that just takes away all your hype. Sometimes.
Right. So yeah, I mean, especially with Khamzat, if you think about Khamzat, like I feel like the whole Gilbert Burns fight that kind of just saw the hype too in a way where Usman could beat him.
Right.
But yeah, mixed martial arts with that. Then like, I really love music, especially just like rap, pop punk, like just the music personalities in general and the stories of their own travel. Professional wrestling, like old school professional wrestling, that is legit. Like
I'm a fan too.
especially the territory days or something, like even like the 90s and like that's just great, and that's its own like
Subculture.
right, and like
Yeah.
even like gangsterish with money and just like bookers and like trying to get booked and like promotion business.
Are you talking about WWE when you talk about professional wrestling?
Well, even like
Before WWE,
before.
really.
What do you think about Logan Paul being in the WWE?
I mean, I feel like I don't see. I mean, good on them, because like it's crazy how that dude's so popular. Where it's just like that's like if they looked at their mainstream and be like, who could we get? We got Bad Bunny right here. We got these jackass guys. What about the Disney guy?
Exactly.
Yeah, let's get him. That's so props to that guy. Like, I mean, but like, yeah, I mean that's kind of silly. And then they just became, I guess, a publicly traded company.
Right.
I don't know what that means, but I guess like.
Their name, you can, I guess, buy.
It's on the
stock into
blockchain.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of like what goes with like the NFTs and stuff like that. So what they're trying to do now is they're trying to take valuable assets and they're putting it on a blockchain where everybody can buy a certain percentage, and then when they buy a certain percentage, the money, like, so they own a portion of, for example, WWE or like expensive Pokemon cards or whatever the situation is. Anything that you think is just really up there with the money, it can be put on the blockchain, diced up, and then the people on the blockchain that are users can buy, trade, sell it like it's stocks.
Oh man, this is the Paul brother expert right here. I forgot about that. He is the Paul's brother expert right here.
Well, no, the blockchain doesn't have anything to do with the Paul brothers, bro. That's a thing.
Oh,
you know how many
shit.
millionaires have money on the blockchain?
No, go. Don't get all defensive.
Oh, I'm
everybody.
just saying. You know how many millionaires have money on the blockchain?
No,
That's
I
a
have-
thing that's going on right now.
All right, you're absolutely right.
I am
I do-
absolutely right.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, who would you say is your favorite professional wrestler of all time?
Ooh, I'll say one who Eddie Guerrero was kind of cool, but
Okay.
that's I would say. But like currently though, the one who I really liked. I mean, Chris Benoit was also kind of really
Chris
cool.
Benoit was kinda
like,
cool.
He was like the dude who
Absolutely.
looked up for like short dudes, like short stocky dudes. It was like, look at Chris Benoit, yeah. But then
And
he did his thing,
And
so-
then he did his thing, and then like you can't even really talk about Chris Benoit no
Right.
more because of what happened. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I guess if I have to really look at it from now and who I saw grow up, Randy Orton.
Okay.
He really is there. Like, he's been there from the beginning. He's always been kicking ass, and he's still there now.
Absolutely.
So I would give it to him.
You know, it's funny. Like I always say, my favorite wrestler of all time, it has to be HBK, Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Shawn Michaels, man, just the charisma. The every match he put on was always really excellent. So definitely a big fan of HBK.
Can you guys tell me
Sweet
what
chin
happened to
music.
Watson? I don't know.
Well, Chris Benoit. Oh, you don't know what happened?
Okay, yeah. Tell
Oh
me.
shit.
what happened.
So basically, Chris Benoit killed his family and then
Yeah.
killed himself.
Oh.
So
Oh.
yeah, and it was like he was supposed to show up to an event. He didn't show up. Nobody ever. They did a wellness check. Somebody went to check, and he had hung himself. He was dead. He had shot his wife and his son
Yeah, he hung himself from his workout machine.
from his
too.
workout machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of so yeah. WWE won't even say man's name. They had like I think after all the news came out, they had a show and the owner of the company, Vince McMahon, was like, no longer will we say his name. This is the last time we're gonna say his name. He's robbed. So even because he had a bunch of big matches in WWE, if you go on like their network and watch any of the matches, it will say whoever it is versus no. It won't even say a name. It'll just say blah 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 versus, and it won't even say his name. They really like don't say that man's name
That's crazy.
because of what he did. And apparently it's like he had some CTE issues.
He used to
was
like
on
dive off
steroids.
the top rope from like his head.
Right.
Like he did like his diving head, where it's like
Right.
a diving headbutt. So just imagine that, doing that for like 15 years.
Imagine
Always
the
have-
person on the receiving end of that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Getting
so
a
it's-
diving headbutt?
Yeah.
But I think they took it in like, I don't know how they took it where they stayed safe, but like still he has to like clench his face and do something. So that's constantly just brain trauma than
Yeah,
steroids.
no doubt about it.
And
I think
steroids.
they looked into his brain and he had like advanced stages of CTE.
What is
Um,
CT?
That is a good question. It's
Chronic traumatic. I guess for like too much like getting hit in the head.
hit in the
Okay.
head. It's
Like
basically like a
concussions and stuff.
prolonged. It's like prolonged concussions that never get treated, and it basically puts stress obviously on your brain, and you have some sort of brain damage. from that.
Boxers,
Okay.
football players,
Mhm,
like
football-
Junior Seau. They said like O.J. Simpson. I guess if he would have if that would have happened, no, CTE would have been playing a factor with it.
Absolutely.
Gary Goodridge, there's a fighter who can
Yep. Gary
especially with
Goodridge.
boxers. Like Floyd Mayweather's dad could barely talk, and like it's
And I mean, if you looked
Yeah.
at Muhammad Ali at the end, like unfortunately, like he was so, like, it took so long for him to talk, and it was so much effort into him speaking, bro. He was screwed up. You know what I mean? He was barely like the guy who was quick on his feet and was such a great talker. He was nothing close to that at the end. If you even listen to any of his interviews when he was like close to dying, he was done.
I think CTE turned Matt Hughes racist.
That made
Because Matt Hughes he was already a Southern Illinois dude, but of course the hits in the head. Then he also got hit with the train. Matt Hughes, the UFC welterweight champ,
Yeah.
but then now he's really kind of all for whatever.
truthfully, like that CTE and like people getting knocked in the head. I think there's Antonio Brown who there was this really nasty hit. Vontaze Burfict getting him. He's in the NFL, like I said, and a nasty hit. He got hit in the head, and ever since then, this man has just been tripping, bro, doing one crazy thing then the next. And it's like people are saying maybe it was some sort of CTE situation because he was always because of that hit that he got, and it was a helmet to helmet hit if I'm not mistaken, and he got laid out, was out with concussion for a while, and he ain't really been this ever since he got that hit. He's been doing, like I said, one crazy thing then the next. This man literally at the end of last season fucking took his jersey off, took all his pads off during the middle of the game.
I think
it's
I saw that. Well, yeah, where he just
took
left,
off, and he
yeah.
just left. He did some jumping jacks in the end zone
Yeah.
and dipped out.
So did he come back or what was how's that handle?
So he actually
No.
he addressed that. No, I don't think he came back to that game.
No, he hasn't
addressed
came
that
back in
on
the
another
NFL.
podcast though that I
Yeah.
saw, and he was
He
talking
got
about.
addressed in a podcast.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he addressed it in a podcast after he was talking about the new clothing line that he's coming out with.
Yeah.
But no, apparently this is what he's saying, that his coach said some wild stuff to him,
You
and
know,
then
he always got an excuse.
yeah, I know.
I'm not
I
gonna
know.
lie. Like that ass. Most people, if they said that, I will give them a benefit of the doubt. Antonio Brown gets no benefit of the doubt about what his coach said to him because every team that he's been on, they give him a bunch of money and he tells him to kiss his ass. Basically,
Didn't he go somewhere else afterwards?
no, he didn't even. I think that was it.
That was it for him. I thought he was
That
going
was
to
it.
return back.
He
Huh.
said he was gonna come back. Nobody's gonna give you. Yo, I'm not paying you a couple $1 million to just shit on me and
Yeah.
tell you just literally playing with Tom Brady, the GOAT, the greatest player of all time, and your ass sitting here taking off your shit and jumping up and down in the end zone. You sound drunk if I give you some money.
He's got
you know?
attention though, so
Yeah.
I bet his clothing line.
I bet his
Popping
closing
off.
line.
That's what it
I bet his
popping
closing
off.
line and his music are going great, and I hope it does.
Yeah. All right, man. You were talking about some of the music you listen to and stuff like that. What are who are some of your favorite artists? What's some of the music that you listen to?
I love Drake. Drake's always good. Drake's good.
You
And
guys
then
should be best friends at that point.
Kid Cudi was always really good.
Yeah.
If you want to think rock wise, I mean the Ramones. They always put some jams. Just anything, pretty much. I like to keep my ear really open, especially when I'm writing or when I have to read. Maybe even some opera or some shit. Not opera, but Beethoven or Mozart. If I want to do some smart shit, I've been starting to listen to that. But also listen to old Opie and Anthony talk radio or I used to try to fuck with old Howard Stern. But that's just that. I don't know. I didn't really get into it, but it is funny. Props to Howard Stern. Yeah.
What about comedy performances? I know you listed some of the comedians that you listen to on a daily basis. What are some of the
Let's see for performances. That's just a good. I mean, with the albums, there's always like good, like there's always like good albums you can catch. Like Louis C.K. always has great albums. He always puts like one an hour, like a year, and that's a good mindset to really work like on an hour and then work on that and then release it, all that good stuff. So he's one to always like look at. Mark Norman, he's another person who puts out like a good hour, or yeah. My mind's just blown on NFTs right now. If I really have to go, we got to talk about NFTs. My mind's just blown on that. This has like been something new.
I mean, we could talk about it a little bit. We can
little
go back
bit,
to it.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, NFT, non-fungible token. It's essentially the new wave, and I mean, just the basics of it.
So like that could be any of these tattoos, but like in digital version.
Essentially, yeah. Essentially,
and,
so
we could have them as like artwork. Like,
yeah,
you have it right there.
Right. Essentially, and you would have a digital form of it, and I mean, maybe 5 years from now they'll have it in a a 3D hologram or something like that. But I mean, yeah, these NFTs get loaded up to the blockchain. There's only a certain amount of them that are essentially posted. There's hundreds of NFTs that are created every single day. Doesn't mean that they're going to go anywhere, but they're created. Like I mentioned before, Twitter, the first Twitter post was created as an NFT, and somebody paid like $10,000 for it.
Really?
Yeah, and then
so the first tweet was an NFT. So when was the first tweet though? Like what year was that? Probably like 2008.
Maybe. I don't even have a Twitter. I have no idea. I just know the background of that, and then I guess when it was posted up for an auction, it like the most that somebody wanted to pay for it was like $1,500. So dudes lost on a bunch of money. Oof, but see, it's a hit and miss, and
but still like 1,500 though. That's something.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, you just lost what, like 8,500 in a sense if you just paid 10 grand for it.
Oh yeah, true. I didn't know how much they paid for it in a way.
Yeah. He paid like 10 grand for it.
It's all big money transactions for like art. It's crazy.
So
absolutely, but I mean, one more.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know you hate talking about this, but
no,
one more.
I'm not.
Oh yeah, it's all right.
A question about NFTs. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I mean, essentially, man, it's everything is getting changed to cryptocurrency. I mean, you go to, I mean, dude, you can even go to a corner store that's like not super big, doesn't even have a chain, and they have a Bitcoin ATM. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. You know what I mean? So
I bought Bitcoin in 2014 to buy a fake ID from the what was it? Yeah, I had to go on the dark web, and then I remember I had to do this sketchy transaction with this dude where I even had to like send encrypted messages through this one message thing where we encrypted it, and so he wanted a picture. So then me and my friends went to I think it was Kenosha Woodman's in the bathroom to go take a picture, and that's a white background. And then we sent him the picture. Then we put the names. But with my name, though, I put Emilio Lopez and then like my neighbor's address. And then my friend, he was very Italian looking, so I gave him Tommy Sorvino. That was his name. So then I gave him like a street down the street. But mine, it was kind of like, I was scared mine was kind of like easy to trace. But it worked for a bit, like even scanned. And then it costed, I remember, I think it was like only 2 Bitcoin, but I remember Bitcoin was new at that time. And I remember if I just would have kept it in there, that would have been super crazy because I would have been like Bitcoin rich.
Yeah, that's funny as hell.
Thousands.
I remember it took like 2 weeks for it to transfer into like money because that was its own process in a way. It was just all weird.
So you said they scanned?
Yeah, they scanned.
That's great fake IDs.
This was like 2014.
I had one that scanned, but then one day I got a little too rowdy and the police took it away. So it's unfortunate.
I never had a fake ID, but my buddy used to get liquor for us all the time, and
lucky.
Yeah, man, it's the burb situation, I guess.
The burbs.
I mean, literally though, man,
dirty
this
burbs.
ID looked nothing like my buddy at all, like nothing. And he would only be able to go to some places, but it was just so funny because he remembered the guy's birthday that was on the ID. It was a Michigan ID. It's like, I don't even know how that passed off.
They always give you Michigan.
I don't even know how that passed off.
Dude, I had a fake and it was amazing. And then one night I decided to this is why I don't have a driver's license. I decided to drive really fast and have alcohol in the car. And then I got pulled over, and they were like, "Oh, you don't even have a license? You have a permit, and then you have a fake ID." Oh, and they were gonna screw me, but there was this one cop who was cool, and he just kind of took it, and I guess he just threw it away or whatever. And he was just like, "Yeah, so you're gonna have to pay this fat ticket, and we're taking away your permit." And Yeah, I haven't driven a car since, so you know it's unfortunate.
Yeah, when they get like that sucks. That's kind of like it's because I guess it's a government ID. I mean, Walmart took mine away, but it happened because like I try to buy alcohol through self checkout, and usually when you buy it, like the person who like if they had any looks, they scanned it and they're like, okay, it scans. That was like the for sure check that it was okay. But I remember like through self checkout, I like the main cashier lady looked at it. And then she was like, 1 moment, please. And then she got like 5 other ladies. But then once she got like the security lady with like 2 walkie-talkies and like the yellow vest, and then she's like nodding her head, looking at her friends, I just ran out of there because I just did not want to deal with that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That sucks. How that's so much. I thought it would be like a slap on the wrist, like kid stuff.
That it's like an actual. You can actually get a charge for that. So I'm actually lucky I didn't get a charge for the fake ID. They just were like. Took the alcohol and, you know, I had to get somebody to pick me up from the police station. Only time that actually ever happened. And then, they...
Do you gotta do like a driving test or anything like that?
I have to pay a fucking $300 fine to even go and take a driver's test. Because I like literally like if I tried to go in and because I tried one time to go like get my license and they were like, yeah, you have to pay this and then come back and show that you paid this and then take the test and everything again and stuff because basically it's like you got your permits taken away, so unfortunate.
I would get on that, dude. I would get on that. It doesn't like, dude, I know people that had to pay thousands of dollars because they got their license revoked and then just the whole process of actually getting like that like repaired and then having to do all this extra shit, dude. I mean,
well, man, bro, here's the thing, and because I lived in the city so long, it really never mattered until like I moved to the suburbs. Because in the city, it's like take a bus, you good.
Yeah,
I mean, you take a train, you're straight. You take that everywhere, or you call an Uber, and the Uber is like 3 minutes away. So like that was the the kind of the downside of living in the city. It's like I never really had to. I never went to get one because it was like I never really needed one. So it is what it is, you know. So yeah, now that I'm at this point, I really should go get that done because I haven't driven in years. I was like 17 when that happened, so that was like 8 years ago. Shit.
How do you feel about George Carlin, man?
He's cool. He's definitely, I liked it. He was definitely revolutionary for his time. I never really listened to his old stuff. I mean, the only time I listened really was like where he was old and he has black shirt, black jeans, and it had like a colorful yellow and red DVD case. But he was funny. He is very funny.
DVDs, man.
He's definitely a legend in the status of the scene, I would say.
You ever, do you ever like get any of like, I don't know, your influence from him or no?
The way he could talk and really kind of like his mannerisms on stage, that's kind of like cool to have that. Like that's to really see that, the way he could really, and then the way he tackles subjects. That's I would imagine that just comes from like he was someone who was in the game for like so much, so long. So I would imagine that's played a huge factor in it as well, of just really to tackle some subjects where whatever he's talking about, making it awesome, really funny jokes and still being funny, you know?
Right. The seven words you can't say on TV. I think those are changed now. But yeah.
There's more you can't say or is less?
No, I think they revised it, to be honest with you, because I mean, I'm not gonna say them, but yeah.
Oh, what are no. Say them. What are the words? I really want to know. I have no.
I don't know exactly. Somebody want to pull their phone out?
Yeah.
I know most of them. But they're most of the words that we kind of refrain from saying on here. But I guess we're not on TV.
I really want.
Yeah, no, we'll get back to that once you find it.
Oh my goodness, what are the words? Oh yeah.
Are those revised now?
This is from. Yeah, no, this is from 2017. Yeah, you want to say it? I can say it. It doesn't matter.
All right, go ahead, bro.
All right, so the 7 words you can't say on TV are shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. Yep. Now, I don't know why you can't say tits on TV. Like,
right, tits I felt like is appropriate.
Yeah, tits are very appropriate.
Yeah.
That's the only word there, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't... piss is funny too, because I didn't know
Titties
that
is
was
more
like
appropriate than tits.
I feel like they borderline got away with that on Family Guy so many times though.
what saying piss
And tits and
and
all
tits. That. I mean, that was in 1972.
But I don't think it's been like really updated. I think it's just been revised.
Bitch tits is a good insult.
Bitch tits?
Yeah,
Bitch
like Bob
tits.
from Fight Club. You know, Bob has bitch tits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
There's someone at our gym, bro, that's got some he's obviously a dude, bro, but he's got some solid
You know,
beats.
smoking weed kind of get that kind of gives you bit. They say like that gives that gyno something or whatever the fuck that thing is, that disease is called bitch tits. They say smoking weed kind of helps that.
Dude,
Well, not helps it, but helps. You know.
Well, I was gonna promote my podcast to him, but I guess that's not a good idea anymore.
dude, one of our old friends, man, he lives out in Florida
shit.
now. His name was Kareem. Dude, I'm telling you right now,
He
man.
used to have liquid that came out.
Bro, he would
wow.
shoot liquid out of his nipples.
It was like a
Dude.
little cream.
Yeah, he would lactate, bro. And
like
I'm
a
like,
little cream,
and
bro.
whoa.
Did he smoke weed though?
Yeah, he was smoking weed.
Oh,
all the
that's
time.
what happened.
So he got put on like ADHD medication that was obviously like some sort of research, and they recalled it right away because all these people that were taking this ADHD medication, and it wasn't like, you know, your classic stuff that you take now, but dude, he literally, bro, you would literally just squeeze his nipple
it
and then
and, like,
just lactate,
little,
bro.
yeah.
And I'm like, bro, why are you touching your nipple and lactating and then trying to hit the blunt? Like, get out of here,
just
bro.
weird, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
talk
bro.
about burning that shit off. What
Wow.
the fuck?
Yo, that is insane, G. Well,
That's crazy.
You know,
That's crazy.
milk.
I can't
If you drink
imagine.
too much milk too, like you can get tits because I know
No,
somebody.
really?
No, I literally know somebody that's very close to me, is in my family, that legit was a dude like and had drank way too much milk and had to get like breast reduction surgery type shit.
Well, I mean, dude, drinking milk is, I mean, it's fatty. So, me personally, I drink almond milk. I stopped drinking like cow's milk.
They put a lot of chemicals in that cow milk.
Yeah, well, I mean, not only that. I mean, I've
Yeah,
had
chemicals
I've
in
had
there.
cow milk straight from the udder, bro. I mean, seriously, like, I milked it myself, man, and I drank it straight out of the jar. Yeah, no, I didn't suck it out. I milked the teats. But yeah, man, I put it right in a jar. It was
Straight
warm.
from the source.
It was, yeah, no, it was really, really good. And then you taste milk, like,
God.
and it doesn't matter, like, what you're getting. If you're getting it, like,
shit.
full milk, if you're getting 2%, if you're getting skim milk, I mean, they all taste very, very different.
Well, here's Mr.
It's
Still.
waterier in a way.
Which
Mr.
one?
Still.
The cow milk, like the one where it's straight from the
Oh,
udder.
so you did it too.
Yeah, I've done it once too.
So y'all making fun of me, and I'm not the only one.
Mine
man.
was
No.
like a petting farm where like the dude was like he like let the cow like put it in your hand. Yeah,
I had,
it was
uh,
shook it on
thinking
you?
about it, it's kind of really weird.
I had
It was
goat.
like,
I had goat butter before, like fresh goat butter. That shit's fire.
Yeah, that sounds disgusting.
No, it's fire shit.
It sounds gross as shit.
It's-
Kind of like blue cheese or any kind
you don't
of
like
goat
blue cheese?
Gross, dude.
Oh, not with the hot
cheese.
wings.
Cottage
Cottage
cheese.
cheese is kind of. I
terrible.
try to like it, but I don't.
Cottage
like it.
cheese is like
It's
sitting
like
there
little
and letting
lumps
yogurt
of
just
shit in there. It's so
mold.
disgusting.
You got to eat it with something though, like
Bro,
some raspberry or
I'm
something.
not going.
I don't know, dude.
I'm not going cap. My great grandmother, rest in peace. She used to eat cottage cheese and fruit all the damn time.
Yeah, see, like
and she'd
fruit
be
would
like,
be
"You
good
want
with it."
some?" And I was like, "Yeah, it looks good." And I ate some, and I literally was like, did not trust shit for a long ass time.
Dude, I opened the fridge just a couple days ago, and there's like little pieces of mold like starting to form on like the sliced cheese that we had in there. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw this out.
Right.
Well, fun fact, my dad's like, where the fuck is the cheese? I'm like, dude, there was mold on it, so I threw it out. I worked at a cheese factory. I know what the business is.
Right.
And dude, he's like, no, you don't throw that out. He's like, that's natural penicillin. I'm like, you're gonna eat fucking mold? No, bro. He's like, I just cook with it. It cooks right off. I'm like, and first of all, he's like, you should have ate it. It's like, you didn't know that mold is where they came up with penicillin, which is like the most used like antibiotic ever. And I'm like, dude, I go into like anaphylactic shock if I take penicillin, sincerely. So why do you think I would eat that? He's like, oh yeah, I didn't remember that. It's like, you're my dad. What the fuck is wrong
Yo,
with
hey,
you?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Dads do not be remembering shit that you like,
No.
bro. At all, bro.
No.
They do not, bro. I remember my pops, bro. This man was like, yo, cause I don't eat like a lot of shit with nuts in it, bro. I'm really cool on nuts, bro. I'm straight.
You're just
and
kind of a homophobe, right?
whatever you say, it's not that. But I just don't. I don't really fuck with like like that shit, bro. And this
It's a
man
condition, man.
went into the store one time. He's like, "You want a candy bar?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro." Man's comes out with a Snickers and shit, and I was like 12 at the time, and I'm like, "Bro,
You're not you when you're hungry.
you knew me for my whole life. You know I don't fuck with nuts." Oh, damn, I forgot. What you mean you forgot, bro? Dude, come on, kid. They do not remember shit, bro. My mom would have never thought to give me no damn Snickers and shit.
Snickers are good though.
They are good. I like Snickers.
pretty
I'm
good.
not a big sweet guy, but you throw a Snickers in the freezer, man, fire. Or like a Milky Way in the freezer.
Can I be honest? You say I'm not a big sweet guy, and then go into like detail about how you like make everything that you have sweet even sweeter, bro.
How does that make it sweeter?
No, I'm not talking about just the Snickers.
Do you
but I'm
fry
talking about
Snickers?
everything.
No.
Oh, okay.
Bro,
I don't
man's
eat
a-
fried food at all, actually. I'm not a big
Frying
fried food.
Snickers is actually a circus thing. They actually people
I've
like,
had it
yeah,
before.
have
If you
tried
go
it?
over to Famous Freddy's in Fox Lake, they do fried Twinkies. And
Oh, okay.
which is similar.
Yo, I swear, you be coming off like you're the most health nut person in the world, G. I swear to Jesus.
I am, dude.
You be in there be like, oh, I don't eat sweets. I don't eat anything
I don't
fried.
Eat sweets.
I know, but it's just, damn. Why the-
Almond milk, white
I
meat.
don't drink water. I don't drink
I
milk.
drink water. Yeah, I drink water. That's like essentially
Water
what
bottles.
almond milk is.
There's microplastics in the water bottles.
Yeah, bro, you can't drink the same water. You gotta.
Well,
bro,
no, you can't drink purified water
Deadass,
because
bro, he
purified
really
water is purified piss and shit.
Yeah, I've heard this speech a bunch of times.
You don't think
bro.
there's not water plants?
It's gotta be
out
spring
there?
water, right?
Yeah, spring
Bro,
water.
this
water.
man,
Spring
this
water,
man will
man.
buy the best water. Be like, yeah, man, this is why I buy the small water, man. You know, you can't drink that other shit. That's shit and piss water, bro.
It is. I mean, you can drink it, but I mean,
Shit,
it
it's piss
specifically
water.
tastes differently. I don't know.
What
That's
about
me.
Fiji water?
I don't really like Fiji water.
I get it, but it's like I don't go on my way to buy it. But I,
I
get
like
it.
that. I like the Armor water.
You are the
that high
bougiest.
pH.
You're the bougiest dude I've ever met in my life, bro.
Dude, my
in
body
my
is
life,
a temple.
dude.
I don't know. I just, treat it right. You treat it right, and it treats you right.
Oh my God, you're hilarious.
I don't even know where we left off at, man. You're
I
just
have
over
no
here
clue.
shitting on me like usual.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, man. Everybody.
What
you
was
know
your question
no,
about,
Hold on, real
oh,
quick.
Jesus.
Everybody else is so nice to this man, bro. All day, every day, bro. They just kiss his ass, bro.
This is
And
not
I just
true.
refuse to be the one to kiss his ass, bro. I'll refuse, bro.
Kid, so I think you're cool too.
Oh, thank you.
I like your style.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
What was that question that you had about
NFTs?
Yeah, what was the question? Do you remember?
Oh, I was gonna ask you why I should give a fuck about it, but I mean, like,
It's the new wave. That's why. That's why. Because eventually, like I said previously, so I would have answered your question already, is eventually everything's going to get transferred to electric currency. So what's going to happen when we don't have IOU paper anymore?
Money is dirty.
he said because it's the new wave. All right. Do you have? Where can we find you on social media?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at ELO for real, the number 4 real, and then Twitter I'm at ELO_real talk, and then Facebook I'll send you a link for all that. I'll send you all those links because I don't know if those links are correct.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, we'll post
We'll
them.
at least post them
And do you have
yeah.
anything upcoming anywhere we can see you in person?
Yes, we got on Wednesday. I'm gonna be at the J&K Lounge May 4th with a good comedy out of Rockford. Then Thursday I'm gonna be in Beloit, Wisconsin, and that's gonna be a fun time. You can find all the information on that on Facebook. And then I am with Second Best Productions with my good friend Joseph Christopher. He's like my partner, and we put on great shows throughout Lake County and Antioch and McHenry. We have a show on, I don't know when's this coming out, but Friday, May 27th, we have a free awesome show. Hold on. We have a free awesome
we got a visual.
Friday, May 20th show featuring Ryan Mason from Milwaukee, TJ Remick, Daryl Cochran, Denise Medina, Kyle Blanchard, hosted by Joseph Christopher. It's going to be a great time.
Absolutely.
And then we also have Kid Iso. Can you be my... Thank you, sir. If you look right there, we got an awesome show in McHenry, in sort of... We also have a great, awesome headliner at AJ Grill. It's going to be at 9:30 at Epic Deli, which is an awesome place, get sandwiches and awesome drinks. And both of these shows are free because we are bringing great talent for free. So just come have a drink, have a good time, enjoy comics that I would bring and my friend Joseph Christopher would book. And when we book these people, we want to book entertainment. We want to book fun. So we're this is A-OK approved. It's second best production because we only book the best for second best.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So if I have, there's my plugs on that.
Shout out to all those people
Other
for
than
sure.
that-
I've met most of them.
Other than that, nothing going on. Just chilling. Summer's
Absolutely.
coming up soon. I'm gonna get into NFTs.
Hey, check it out, man.
Get into edit. That's gonna be my thing.
Yeah, because it's the new wave.
It's the new wave.
That's the reason to get into it.
It's the new wave.
I got sold once I saw the UFC start fucking with it, and then so it's a big business. So it's just, I kind of get it.
Absolutely. Well,
All right.
I'm gonna start getting into stock market too.
You
Absolutely.
should.
Yeah,
It's big boy money. For sure. For sure.
I'm gonna start also gambling on the slots.
well, you got
That's,
to.
that's also money too. If you win,
Gambling on the
you're good
slots.
at it. You're good at it. All right, guys. Again, thank you for subscribing, liking,
Thanks for
sharing.
having me.
Oh, bro.
Of
Thank you.
course. Thank
Thank
Really
you for coming
appreciate
on.
you.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you to
Okay, I'll shake your hand too. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no worries. Thank you to all our fans for watching us. And again, this is Blake Steele. We got Emilio Lopez, my infamous co-host, Kid ISO, and thank you for coming in for your weekly dose.
Absolutely.
Peace
I'm
out.
back on my bullshit like I'm Rodman. Game day, I'm Jordan, bitch, I'm ballin'. Got the money and the power and respect. Niggas talk that talk, but like Nike, they in check. I got this style that I'll K a little chest. Always got it on me just in case I'm feeling pressed.